All right. I'm going to minimize. If you guys can't see my slides, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and go into presenter mode. All right. So first things first, there's a few things I'm going to talk about before we really dive and jump into this. We're going to hear from an official test group member tonight. That is a coach that is on our team, and that is Katie Cook. So I'm super excited about that. But for all of you that did the stories training, we are done. So everything is placed in units. And if there was anything that was not covered, type it in the chat box, message me directly, or post it in the group. So I want to make sure that we covered everything that you guys really wanted to learn about with utilizing stories for your business. Okay, the next thing I want to do is really quickly go through what we have coming up, because I swear, you guys, like, I wrote down all the groups coming up and I have like 5. So let's talk about those. The Instagram story training group is done with. The sample workout is now out for 30-day breakaway. I've done it like multiple times. I actually did it today. Pumpkin spice is now out, or is now released. It is limited time. I need to ask them what it looks like, how much we have left, because it usually does not last very long. And then of course tonight's the team call. So the big thing that we have coming up in the month of September is going to be our virtual coaching open house. And I want to try something a little bit different. So instead of taking it and spreading it out Monday through Friday, we're going to do it one day. And the videos are going to, all, like, me and the other speakers are really pushing to have 5-minute videos. Okay. We only have 4 speakers. So in 20 minutes, they're going to hear from all the speakers. Now I am going to post a few additional videos, which is the one I normally post that goes over how do you get started, and then how do we earn. So there are going to be a couple other little videos in there. The PDF is going to be in there, but it's going to be pretty quick. Our bios will be in there, which I think we'll probably post those on Monday, where we share a little bit about ourselves. So that way we don't have to talk on the video and tell our story, because we know that that can become a lot of rambling. I know for me, I'm like, I could go on forever about my story. So that's going to help us really stay focused on the topic and make this group quick. Okay, so it's going to be one day. It is open to the entire team. The ideal, if you're a new coach and you're like, what is a coaching open house? This is to share the coaching opportunity, what it is we do as coaches for somebody that you have been talking to, or that you would like to join you on your team and become a coach to, and do this with you. So this will give them an opportunity to learn more about coaching, and even go in and ask questions. Okay, so that's going to be on the 30th, which is next Wednesday. That group is already open. If you click the announcements tab in our Team on My Tone page, you're going to find that that is going to be there. Right now I have tonight's call pinned to the top. I'll unpin it, and this will probably be at the top again. All right, really quick. So every leader usually does a marketing plan. So Diamond and Above coaches, you may find that if your sponsor is a Diamond or Above coach, you may see that they do their own marketing plan. But I just want to share with you guys what I'll be personally doing, and the team can follow along. So what October looks like for us, the 1st of October, I always revamp my boot camp. So I'll be doing that for my existing group that my PS coaches join me in, who are not running their own groups. And then on October the 5th, and we're going to go over some more of these dates here in just a second, that is the coach launch of 30-day breakaway. We're also doing a getting started right call for new coaches. We do that once a month, the first Monday of every month. And we have our Emerald group starting all over again. Okay. On the 19th of October, I have decided we're going to do a couch to 5K group. And I've really gotten out of doing program specific groups, because I find that my clientele don't always start with a new program. They start somewhere else and then they move into some of our more advanced programs. So I don't like to limit anybody, but I think that this running program is something totally different. The ideal at the end of this program is that they can run a 5K, and they do go run a 5K. So that is why on November the 21st, and we're going to talk about this as we get into the slides here in a second, myself within my virtual boot camp and my local community will be doing either a virtual race or a group run meetup, okay, in person on November the 21st, okay? So we're gonna go into why that date and the window that you have to participate and do this along with Beachbody. But there will be a team-wide group if your sponsor or leader is not hosting one, or they decide they want to collaborate with the team. We're going to put that out there on the Team on My homepage, and everybody can join the running group. I think it's going to be really cool. And then on the 28th, we'll do another coach open house. So that's what this month looks like. If you guys look at Sunday, it tells you what you should be focusing on. What does that mean? It means that's what you should be talking about in your story. That's what you should be planning on talking about at least 2 times that week within your social media post. Okay, so it just kind of zones in your brain. I always sit down on Sunday and I say, okay, Sunday, what does the rest of the week need to look like? What do I want to talk about? And I actually write down on Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to do a post about this, a challenge group, my new boot camp, or I'm going to do a post about 30-day breakaway, or I'm going to do a post about coaching. Okay, so I'm really strategic. And I think that if you own your business and you want to be more organized and you want everything to be streamlined every month, this is what you should be doing. You should be following some form of a market plan. Oh, I don't want to get into this yet. Okay, so we're going to hear from Katie in just a second. I'm going to swap out my slides and go into another screen here. All right. Okay, so let's talk really quick about 30-day breakaway, what to expect from it, and then we're going to hear from Katie, and then we're going to go back into these slides, okay? So I'm actually utilizing the slides that they did in my 5-star and above group. So just to kind of, I didn't create these, I cannot take credit for them, but some of the information you may be thinking about, like, what are you talking about? So here's what we're going to cover. They call these the Quakers, and I'm going to explain to you what that means on my next slide, but we're also going to cover program overview, packs and pricing and volume, training tools, marketing tools, and key dates. So the Quakers are quick answers to common questions that I know you have, especially if you are a roundtable season coach, which is the roundtable is my 5-star and above group. So you're going to get a lot of information in this slide right here if you want to screenshot it, because it tells us a lot in a very summarized way. So will there be a free sample workout? You guys already know this. It's already launched on the 14th. When can coaches purchase? October the 5th. What is the launch promotion for it? It's going to be $20 off the 30-day breakaway packs. There's no promo pricing for accessory bundles or digital only streaming. When can customers purchase it? October 19th. When does VIP early access start? October 19th. When is the virtual 30-day breakaway 5K? So this is what I was just kind of talking about, and we're going to elaborate on this in the next few slides, but Beachbody is organizing between the weeks of November 21st and November 29th, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving and the weekend after Thanksgiving, to do virtual 5K events. So I'm super excited that we are trying to organize those together as a team. It is still in the works. And when it comes to what your local community will be doing, that may be up to you or your sponsor on what you guys will organize. So that is all going to be in the planning. But regardless, our group will do a virtual 5K where we'll say, okay, this is the date that we plan to do it. And we'll definitely be making sure we hold everybody accountable to be doing that virtual 5K who are in our groups. When does it go into the Beachbody On Demand member library? March 22nd of 2021. So I love it that they give us a 6-month window to promote a program, right? I'm still having tons of people buy MBF. That's pretty much all they're buying all this month. You can't even access it until January. So it's a nice little window that we have to work with for people to go ahead and, you know, who are existing BOD members, go ahead and either upgrade their BOD to doing a package bundle instead of just renewing at the normal cost, or doing a completion pack. So that's a huge sales tactic that they have allowed us to have as coaches with having that window. Okay. Will pack purchase in September get a 50% off promo code for it when it launches? Yes. So anybody who purchases a challenge pack this month, if they purchase an MBF or a base bundle challenge pack or whatever, 3-day refresh challenge pack this month, they will then get an email with a promo code. They get 50% off the 30-day breakaway accessory bundle and the digital only streaming. Okay, so both of those, which is awesome. I know that when they've done this in the past, I had a lot of people go ahead and sign up this month because they were ready to rock and roll this month, especially if they were ready to become a coach. And then the following month, they ended up using their promo code and going ahead and getting the new program. So will you give us these slides? Again, this was my 5-star and above group on that one. Okay, so program overview. And I wanted to go over this first, these next 2 slides first before we talk to Katie, because I feel like you guys are going to have some questions, because I have some questions for her. So the 30-day program is 6 days per week, 20 to 45 minutes long. There's 10 resistance workouts. There's 10 running workouts, which are either video or audio. So you guys got to see that in the sample workout where you could play the video, which they call that the treadmill version or something like that. Or you can play the audio. I have personally only done the audio because I've taken the run on the roads. So that's kind of nice that they'll have both of those options. So additional workouts will be 1 indoor cardio, 1 stretch and recovery, and 5 bonus workouts. Okay. Equipment you'll need: light, medium, heavy dumbbells, Beachbody resistance loops, a foam roller, and running shoes. All right, I think we're gonna be talking about running shoes a lot in this group because running shoes are crucial. If you guys didn't know, I used to be a huge runner. I did a lot of mini marathons in my day, and I know a lot of the other coaches on our team have done races and will have a lot of input on running shoes because I learned a lot about running shoes when I got into running myself. There is going to be an English and Spanish version. If you didn't know, Idalis is actually Hispanic and fluent in Spanish. She was our trainer that came out with Más de Más, which you guys may not be familiar with it. Más de Más was, I don't know if that program was only in Spanish. It might have been, but that was a couple years ago. So you will have 2 versions. You'll have 2 demographics that you can hit between the Hispanic, Spanish-speaking population and English. So I think that's really cool. The packs that are going to be offered, we're going to go through here shortly. It's the base and the deluxe. There's no mega packs. And then, of course, you have the accessory bundle and the digital-only streaming. Additional videos that will be coming along with this, which is the sample workout. So we've already had access to that. Get Moving, Meet Idalis, Introduction to Nutrition Programs, Introduction to the Supplements, and How to Run. These are all videos that we're going to be putting in our, oh, and that's what I didn't get to mention earlier. These are all videos that we're going to be putting into our virtual info group on this program, which, mark your calendars, that also starts on the 30th, which is Wednesday. So that will go from the 30th until the coach launch on the 5th, and it will remain open. After it's open, I will put together a Google info form that you can also utilize where you won't have to actually add them into a group. You can send them just an info form. But these are typically the videos that I use. I use these with MBF. Megan did a great job going over the nutritional programs of explaining 2B mindset and explaining portions. So we'll be using that within our group. And then she also did one about the supplements. I'm going to assume Idalis is probably going to be pretty similar. Other program tools that we'll have, there's a Spotify playlist, there's a get started guide. And I'm going to tell you guys here in a little bit kind of where some of these additional videos and program tools are. But this is what we'll have to kind of work with. And there's also 3 workout calendars, a basic, advanced, runner, and a time crunch, which I am really excited to ask Katie a little bit more about what that looks like. And then there is a 5K runner's bib that can be printed out and is can be customized. So yeah, before I get into the rest of the information, I actually am going to stop sharing. And I am going to share my screen really quick because we are going to be hearing from Katie. I'm not going to keep it on the slides because I want you guys to be able to see her face, but I did want to share her transformation. And I'm going to have her kind of say a little bit more about it, but she lost 9.2 pounds and 5.5 inches. One of the things that she had told me as we were talking about this, the things that she was the most proud of was just challenging herself. And she improved her speed on her 5K too. So I am going to exit out of my share screen, and Katie, I am going to hand over the call to you. So I'm going to mute myself. I think I seen you on here earlier.
Yep, I'm on here.
There you are. Okay.
Good.
All right. You have the floor.
All right. So I guess what I'll talk about first is kind of my experience with the program. So when I was going after being a success starter, and I was in like my second or third month of trying to hit that goal, the test group incentive was huge for me. That was something I really wanted to be a part of, and it was a huge motivator. So when I got Success Starter, I mean, that's what I was most pumped about. And then I get an email saying, your Success Starter test group is about to start. It's a running program. And I was like, oh no, it's running. And I'm not a runner. I never have been. It's always been something that has just been like a huge mental block for me. It's been a huge challenge. I played college sports. I played soccer. So I clearly have ran. But it just has been, if I'm not chasing a soccer ball on a soccer field, I've never been able to do it. So when I get this email, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, am I gonna be able to do this? And so, after about 24 hours, maybe 2 days, I was like, okay, dive in. Like, that's not the mindset. Like, take advantage of this opportunity. So once it came around to actually starting, I was excited about it. I was excited for the opportunity. I wasn't necessarily excited about running, but I was excited about the test group. And it's crazy because at the end of the 30 days, I truly loved it. I absolutely did not expect myself to like the program, to enjoy the program, but I did. And so for you, any of you or any of your customers that are like, oh, I'm not a runner, no, that's just not for me, I highly recommend you to push yourself outside your comfort zone and to challenge yourself with this, because it really is an amazing program, and Dallas is wonderful. I've never done any of her programs. I didn't really have experience with her. She's so great. She's smart. Her lifting is amazing. And her motivation is great. So just, I set a goal throughout the program, and like Danielle said, I mean, while I got results, I lost weight, I lost inches. I've been fortunate enough to lose weight and lose inches on most programs when I, stick to nutrition. But so this, while I did lose those I got those physical results, the huge thing here was the mental difference that actually, being able to run and breaking away, like truly breaking away, right? My mindset, and achieving a faster pace than I thought I would be able to. So like all that was the best part about the program, despite the fact that I did actually see really good results. So that was my experience, just kind of like overall with the program. But a couple things I did want to touch on, because Danielle, you did kind of mention them, is the calendars. So there's 3 calendars. There's the basic calendar, which Dallas kind of suggests just as your standard calendar, unless some of the other things apply. So the basic calendar, you have some days where you're just lifting, some days where you're just running, but a lot of days where you both lift and run. Now, the time crunch calendar is for people who are maybe new to exercise altogether, or very new to running, and or those who just simply don't have time to commit to even the standard basic calendar. So the time crunch calendar, you're either running or lifting every day. So you're never going to have the doubling up. The lifting is between 20 and 30 minutes each, and the runs are about 16 to 22 minutes each. So that's how they get their 40 to 50 minutes, they'll say, it is kind of the time frame. Now, well, before I go into that, so then the advanced calendar, the third option, is really for those people that are seasoned runners. She does not recommend doing that calendar like just to start off. So that one, you run and lift. I think it's every day. So I think 5 days a week you run and lift. That one they say is, and either do the program with the basic calendar first and then try the advanced, or if you really are like a seasoned runner, then go ahead and start with the advanced she recommended. And then let's see. So the thing that I think a lot of people, at least I had questions about, I've seen a lot of people have questions about is, okay, so this is like a couch to 5K. How is this any better than what I can find online, right? And so we talked about that a lot in the test group. That kept coming up. And one thing that is completely different than a couch to 5K schedule you can find on Google is that you have the audio. You have her guided runs. So I always did the audio. So you download her audio and then you actually have her in your ear during the whole run. And it's amazing how she knows exactly when you're going to be like, when you're starting to feel fatigued and you're like, okay, I got to slow down. Like, I can't do this anymore. She knows that. And she's like, okay, I can tell, I know it's time where you're going to start getting tired, push through right now. And her timing's amazing. But I've never done a guided run before. And that was a huge help for me. For someone who's not a runner, that made a big difference compared to just me trying to put music in my ear and going for a run. So you have that difference. These runs aren't just, with the exception of one, these runs are not just go out and run. They're all interval based. Some are progressive, some are HIIT intervals. You have fartlek intervals, but they're all interval runs, which is a lot different than saying, okay, just go run 2 miles or go run for 20 minutes. So that's different. And then you also are incorporating the lifting. I think I haven't ever Googled a couch to 5K program that incorporated lifting. So that also is a huge benefit. Danielle hit on that the English and Spanish options are both available, which is great. And then one other thing that I guess I'll want to mention is that we had a lot of people say, or I've had potential customers say, well, I'm already an advanced runner. I run half marathons. The goal at the end of this program is a 5K. It's not for me. And Idalis touched on this quite a bit in our test group. And some suggestions she had that, so when you're talking to people, you may want to suggest to them is that she suggested you add 5 or 10 minutes before and after your runs for those advanced runners. She also suggested that they can add 2 to 5 miles to their weekly mileage, either by adding some miles after their runs or adding 2 to 5 miles on their rest days. But the benefits the advanced runners are going to see is not, so obviously if they're an advanced runner, they're already running 5Ks or longer distance, but the interval training combined with the lifting will improve their time. So that's really what their benefits of this is going to be, is they're going to see a decrease to their 5K pace, or I would assume also their longer distance paces as well. And then one other thing, so just so, I'm, I guess, as transparent as possible, is some of the challenges I experienced with this program is, so I did the basic calendar. And while if you add the minutes of the lifting with the runs, it would be 40 or 50 minutes. The transition period between the 2 runs, the switching my shoes off and going outside, that actually ended up adding quite a bit of time, like much more time than you would think. So that's just one thing to consider when you're talking about calendar choices, either for yourself or for some of your customers, is that time frame is the actual workout. There is some transition time between, you know, unless you're jumping on a treadmill right next to wherever you lift. So that was one thing that I didn't really anticipate right away. And another thing, I guess, that just to think about with you or your customers is, for me, I have 2 kids, and oftentimes my husband's not home. So having to schedule the runs where I had childcare, and I think as we're going into fall too, people may have issues if they're morning workout people, if the sun's not up and they don't want to run in the dark or whatnot. So those are things that your customers may ask you about or may present as potential obstacles that just be, you know, you want to be ready to address, and just be aware that those may be things they raise.
Awesome. I took like 2 pages of notes, by the way. I'm excited because this is going to help me. I had a lot of questions actually, and I was going to wait till tonight to ask you, but you answered most things. So from what I'm hearing, the time crunch calendar is the one where you're doing just weights and maybe the next day running. So it's divided, right?
Yes.
Now, did she say if you did the calendar that way, is it going to take you longer than 30 days?
No. So it's still 30 days. It's just it's less intense.
Okay.
You know, so each day you may be only working out 20 to 30 minutes a day, as opposed to the 40 to 50 or longer.
Gotcha. And then the basic is you can do running one day, weights one day, but there's a lot of times it's together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, and I would say most days it's together, but you may have 1 or 2 days a week where it's just running or just lifting.
Gotcha. Does anybody else have some questions for her that you guys have in mind? Feel free to unmute yourselves.
Question. Do you know if she specified, like, if you could do like the run in the morning and then the weights later? Like, do you have to do the workouts like on top of each other? Because I like work out twice a day all the time, but like I split up my workouts all the time. Like I wake up and I'll do a workout and then later I'll work out. So do you know if she ever talked about like if people don't have a 50-minute block, but they might have 20-minute block, 20-minute block? Like, did she ever say anything about that?
Oh yeah. Yep. She talked quite a bit about that. So her answer was, well, it's designed to be together. Like some of her liftings, like the running. So you're supposed to lift first and then run. And she pairs the lifting with runs on particular days so they can be back to back. So you get the most benefit. So like some days you do a leg day and then she does a really challenging run right after that. And the idea is you're building that stamina. So when you do your 5K, it's a lot easier. You know, you're not doing it right after a 5K. But she said, so that's how it's designed. But if you can't do that, then absolutely, it's no big deal to be splitting them up in the day or to be doing the run before lifting, if for whatever reason that works better for you.
Thank you.
Danielle, I think you might be muted.
You're muted.
Hey! Okay, so if anybody else has questions as we continue going, please unmute yourself or type it in the chat box. We'll come back and answer them. But I just want to say thank you because that was really informative and helpful for me because I had questions. And then I think even as Idalis starts to like speak on the National Wake Up Call and speak on the Champions page, we're going to even get more insight. So, but this was super helpful. Like I said, I took 2 pages of notes because when I'm being descriptive in my stories or I'm doing a post, I want to be able to talk about some of this stuff. I really love the information about timing. So that's something I really didn't even think about. But back in my running days, I know timing was an issue when it came to doing outside runs. Okay, guys,
One thing I just remembered, also, if you don't mind, so Ultimate Portion Fix, I just wanted to say, I think the calculation that they gave our test group was moderately challenging, which I think, if I remember right, the description is like 30 to 40 minutes a day. But based on all the feedback in the test group, I'm really interested to see if they actually end up bumping that up to the, I can't remember the description of the next one, intense or whatever that next, the more 60 minutes a day, because it seemed like most people thought that there just weren't enough calories for the workouts. So that's what they did. It was moderately challenging in the test group, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do bump it up. But anyway, so that's one other thing with nutrition.
And one thing that a lot of times people don't realize, it has a name for it, and I swear I always forget it. And I'm always like, Chris, what is that? But anytime that you are lifting and then doing a hit afterwards, a cardio, you actually burn more calories. So it is I can't remember what it's called, but it's like your recovery rate afterwards, after you lift heavy and then you go into a cardio. That is the best way to maximize your workout. Lift heavy, go into a hit cardio like that. So, I mean, yeah, that would make sense that they would swap it out to possibly being intense for food.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should always listen to your body. So if you feel like that you've been doing that eating, and Ultimate Portion Fix says that a lot, Autumn says it a lot too, to kind of give your body a couple weeks to adjust. But if you're still feeling hungry, then, going in and adding in additional containers would be one step. And then the next step would be actually bumping it up, seeing if that intense bracket would move you into another calorie bracket. So, okay, guys, let me go back into sharing my screen. All right. So let's talk about what's unique about this program. Running, obviously the goal is to run a 5K to complete this. And like Katie said, either you're going to be somebody that's doing kind of like a couch to 5K, you haven't ran before, or you're not a seasoned runner. Or if you are a seasoned runner, I think she made a really good point, because my sister runs marathons, and I actually was talking to her about this, and I have been talking to her forever about cross training. I'm like, you've got to cross train, You can't just run. You'll actually improve your time in your race. And runners don't always know that, because there isn't a lot of couch to 5K or things like that, that tell you to also be incorporating cross training and lifting. It will improve your run. So that's really, really important for us to be sharing that on social media for those seasoned runners, to also say, have you thought about improving your time, doing a little bit of interval training, incorporating strength training with weights. I really think, and you can even use Katie as an example. Say we had a test group member that shared one of the biggest advantages to this program for seasoned runners is the fact that you can improve your time. Are you looking to improve your running quality and your time? So it would be a great way to market it to those people. But there's audio workouts. So the bot app can now play audio in the background. And the ADA compliant of hearing impaired, I guess. So I know that it also has the audio on the screen. So I think that's what they're talking about. But I will also tell you guys that today when I did my run, I logged out of my app and it still continued to play. So usually you have to be in the Beachbody On Demand app, and you no longer have to. So you can turn off your phone. You can actually exit the app and the audio still plays. So I thought that was neat. That was a new feature that they added to our BOD. So it's in Spanish, all workouts in English and Spanish. And then there is a 5K medal for the Beachbody Challenge submissions. So guys, after every program, you should always be submitting your results. We have cash prize giveaways that are daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. I had a coach reach out to me the other day and say, hey, Danielle, do you think I should hold off on sharing my results until I have an even bigger transformation? No, the $100,000 yearly transformation is picked from somebody that keeps turning it in every single time that they complete a program. And then there's of course, there's their final transformation. And it asks them all the programs that they completed when they do that. So you can turn this in every time. So if you wanted a 10 rounds t-shirt and you're like, I want an MBFA t-shirt and you want a 5K medal, always submit that. You can go to teambeachbody.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, and then there is a little link that says Beachbody Challenge. But you'll get a medal. They did tell me in my 5-star and above group that that's while supplies last. So I'm like, oh no. So they said, make sure that your people turn in their submissions right away. I hope that they don't run out of these. They said they run out of them, that they would be getting their t-shirt, but I want a medal. So I will be submitting my results immediately after the race and encouraging my customers to do the same. So virtual 5K event, I mentioned this briefly earlier. You can run your own 5K during November 21st and 29th. That's when Beachbody has kind of set the date that they would be promoting this and talking about this and doing this across the board. So I think it's really neat to be able to set a date and do it along with Beachbody, because our customers, our clients are going to be seeing Beachbody talk about this event. Now, for anybody that wants to organize something locally, I actually reached out to Samantha Couch, who's actually putting together a 5K. She is a avid runner and has a big running community around her. So I had reached out to her about doing something local, and we're going to do a group run. It's not going to be a 5K race, because there are a lot of details that as I got to talking to her, I'm like, yeah, we don't want to do that. That you have to actually get approval from the city. You have to go in and get insurance, and it can be pretty extensive and expensive. So we're doing what we're calling a 5K meetup. And we're still working out those details. So that's what we'll do locally. And then of course, within the team group, we'll encourage people to do a 5K virtually, or they may look into their city. I know that I think it's Sarah and Marcy, and I know one of the other girls is doing a 5K in Michigan. So they're doing one that is already organized and they just sign up for it. So it's another option too. And there is a lot of these events going on during that turkey trot time when everybody likes to do those right before Thanksgiving. Okay. Now, this is cool because y'all, I hold my phone when I'm running, and I also hold mace. I am big about running with mace. If you're running country roads or if you're running anywhere, I think you should have something, especially if you're running alone. But I hold those two things. And so here I am, she's telling you not to squeeze your fist, but here I am holding two different things. So you actually get a running belt. That is part of the accessory bundle. And I am stoked about that because that is where I'm going to put my phone. I used to have an armband back in the day when I was a runner. And when I didn't use a phone, I actually had something called an iPod. Is that what they're called, right? Yes, an iPod. So I think this belt's gonna be super nice for people who like to take their phones along with them, which will be all of us because we'll be listening to the audio version. Okay, so launch promotion, like I said, there's gonna be $20 off all 30-day breakaway packs. Other related promotions during that time, they're going to do 50% off discount for September pack purchasers. So we already talked about that. Anyone who purchases a pack in September will receive a promo code to get 50% off 30-day breakaway accessory bundle and the digital only streaming. They'll also get you can get the 18-inch blue foam roller for 20% off and free shipping. So that's really nice. That promo will be applied when this launch happens. And then apparel. So the other day on the team page, I showed you guys the apparel. The apparel is super cute. But for apparel on 30-day breakaway, they're going to have 20% off the timeless tank, which is that top tank that has like the clouds and the sun right there, with the purchase of any 30-day breakaway pack or bundle or digital streaming. So I know us coaches will probably be checking and adding this into our cart because we're all about the swag. But I think that this is important to mention it to our clients and just say like, hey, they have a really cute shirt that's going along with this. Like this could be a memento for you doing this program, and you get 20% off too. And then they also have buy the Dallas sleeveless hoodie, which is that little cross back there that they're pointing. And you'll get 40% off the Fierce tank, which is the tank right there. There is a promo code for that one, and it is Spotlight. And then the apparel ships free when purchased with any other shippable items. Yay, I hate paying shipping. So I'm super excited about that. And there's no code necessary. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the pack information, the configuration, pricing, and volume. So up first is going to be your digital streaming only access. This kind of shows you the price breakdown for Canada, UK. The biggest print, of course, is here in the US. So the coach price is $37.46. It shows you the volume you'll get for that. And the BP is called bonus points, which is AKA our commission. So the commission on that is $12.49. Now, I always sell the accessory bundles because I think that everything that comes along with the accessory bundles is worth that extra few bucks. Like, it's really not that much more. So they'll get the VIP early access. They'll get the digital access to that. They'll get a getting started guide. They'll get a workout calendar. So it looks like they get the printout calendar of the basic one. And I'd say that the one that is the time crunchers or the advanced is probably going to be digital. And then they'll get the Beachbody resistance loops, the 9-inch or 12-inch. Y'all, like, I can never have enough of these loops because I use them with 80-day obsession. I use them with the works. I'm using them, we're using them now at 30-day breakaway. They tear, they weaken, and I always need new ones. And then you get the 30-day breakaway running belt. So this is a pretty awesome bundle. I wouldn't see why a customer would choose paying $37 or, a customer price is $50 versus paying the $70 and getting all these additional perks. All right. Now, I don't think we have any France coaches, but if you do have any customers in France, if you guys didn't know, we are in the United States, Canada, UK, and France. So for France, they're kind of doing the bundles a little funny just because what they said in our leader group is the launch in France is still kind of like a pre-launch. So they're still working out some tweaks there. But basically how France has to buy it is they buy a base bundle and they get the accessory bundle added on for free. Kind of confusing. If you have a France customer, reach out to me. We can talk about this later. But I think for the most part, most of our customers are in US, UK, and Canada. All right, so we all know that the best deals for our customers is not a digital access. It's not an accessory bundle. It's a challenge or completion pack. So let's talk about those. This is what we always focus on because we want to offer people a full solution. So the base bundle, the base challenge or completion pack, this is what you're going to be getting. It's going to look very similar to MBF. So you are still getting the 2B and UPF digital streaming. You are still getting the containers. You are still getting the tracker. The big difference is that you're going to get your resistance loops. You're going to get the running belt. And you're going to get it with either Shakeology or you can get it with Recover and Energize, okay? Let's see, is that what that goes into? No, it doesn't. Okay, so this shows you the challenge pack and it shows you the completion pack. So if you don't know, completion pack is for anybody who has an existing Beachbody On Demand membership, okay? The challenge pack on promo will be $160. So you guys are gonna see these prices are just like MBF. They don't look any different. So the challenge pack is $160. And guys, FYI, MBF most likely will be going up $20 next month. I can almost guarantee the promo for MBF will be over after this month. So we will see that price change from $160 to $180. So just FYI, you have people wanting to get MBF, they need to get it now if they want to save money. So the challenge pack is $160 on promo. It's $130 on completion. This shows you the BP bonus points is your commission. So it's $50 on the challenge pack. It's $38 on the completion pack. Again, it shows you the Canada and UK prices right underneath of that. Then your deluxe bundle. So deluxe basically means you get all three supplements. You get Shakeology, Recover, and Energize. With the base bundle, it's either choose Shakeology or you get Recover and Energize. Those are the two bundle packs. With the deluxe, this personally is my favorite, the one I recommend the most because I use consistently all three of those supplements. Okay, very like every day. Those are my go-to. But with this one, again, you'll get the digital access UP. It's pretty much the exact same bundle that I just explained, but you get all 3 supplements, all right? The price point for it in a challenge pack is $219. In a completion pack, it's $190. The challenge pack for the deluxe is $70 commission, and then the completion pack is a $60 commission. There is a pre-order commitment tracker that you guys are going to be able to find in the Coach Online office under Grow My Business and Product and Tools, which I'm going to show you guys where that's located in just a second. But this is nice to have because you can go ahead and start taking people's orders that you know are interested, right? Especially come October 1st, I'm honestly trying not to focus too much on 30-day breakaway right now because I'm still focused on what I can offer people this month. But one perk to sharing a little bit now and people showing interest is being like, yeah, when you get started this month, next month you're actually going to get 50% off either the digital or the accessory bundle. So see that verbiage, how that helps? So they can go ahead and get something like MBF, have early access to that and get that package. And then next month they're going to get a promo code and they can have 30-day breakaway too for 50% off. Huge win. So that's how I've been kind of promoting that when I do talk about 30-day breakaway. But this would be a good idea to go ahead and get some information for people that you know specifically is wanting and waiting for this program. And then the pack saving cards, this is always located in the shop area when they go to look for it. I love that they do this now because it used to be us like sitting there trying to figure out like, okay, how much are you saving? How much is this? And it was tough. But now it shows you what their savings is. So it looks like this is probably maybe a deluxe pack. I haven't really looked at everything that they put on here. Oh, I know what they've done. Okay, so this is a non-promo price. So $180 is a non-promo month, and then $2 is the shipping cost that you pay for a challenge or completion pack. Okay, so it kind of shows you the savings here, and that is going to be in the shop area. Also, don't forget the teambeachbody.com. They always have like a sell page, which is really informative. I'm also going to be making a Google form for you guys, but this is another great resource to use. If you guys went and looked at the teambeachbody.com page right now, at the very top, you would actually see the Unstress sell page where it has a click, a learn more. So you can actually click and learn more about the program. So I just want to bring this up because I think a lot of times people kind of overlook that there is additional information located right on the Team Beachbody page. All right, so product toolkit. This is where I'm going to show you guys how to access additional information. I'm actually going to utilize this during our info group that we're going to do on the 30th. If you guys aren't familiar with the info group too, it's basically like doing a little sneak peek of the program before it's actually launched to hype up and get people excited. So starting on the 30th is when we will open that group, and every day until the coach launch, we'll post additional information, more about the program. We'll post more about the nutrition, more about the supplements. So it'll give people a really great opportunity to have a slow release of information before the program actually launches to coaches. Now, keep in mind, guys, that I know you all are like, well, wait a minute. That's the coach launch. If you're a seasoned coach, you guys already know what the coach launch window does for us. You have a 2-week period where people can only buy it if they're a coach or if they sign up as a coach. This is a big window that a lot of us coaches utilize to create a little more stabilization or foundation of our team with people who are ready to get started. So they go ahead and they do the discount sign up just so they can go ahead and start 2 weeks early and they can have access right away. So this is going to be a huge opportunity to go ahead and get those people signed up as coaches right off the bat. So we will be doing that group starting on the 30th. I will share more about it. Like I said, we're in group overload right now with a lot of information. So I'm trying to do a slow release on the team page, but it is coming. It starts the 30th. And it'll go through the coach launch on the 5th, and then I'll create a Google form for you guys to utilize and be able to share with customers after that, okay? But the group will remain open regardless. So in order to access the product toolkit, you go into the coach.teambeachbody.com, the Coach Online office, go to Grow My Business tab, click Product Tools and Shareable Media, and then you're going to see a tab for 30-Day Breakaway. So what does the product toolkit contain? Well, it contains a lot of great information that we're going to utilize in our info group. So there's a product training guide, there's a challenge pack comparison image, and I'll show you guys that in a second, in a completion pack comparison image. There's a blog post, there's logos, there's key dates. There's just a lot of good information to be able to utilize as we share more about this program. So before and after pictures from the test group members are already in there. There is a pack comparison guide. I will have a graphic to share with you guys that will show the prices. So that is coming, and that will be shared in our sneak peek group too. Additional training materials that you guys will come across is there's going to be some live trainings. I'm going to go ahead and bump up to September 29th. Dallas is going to be live on the Champions page. If you guys are not a member of the Beachbody Champions page, become one. Don't get lost in it, okay? It's like a lot of information. So don't get lost and overwhelmed in that page because there is a lot of trainings. But if you spend all your time in trainings and not much time on your business, you know, that's not really going to grow your business. So I do suggest adding yourself to the Champions page because it is a great resource that when you're in your car and you're trying to multitask, you can always go there and listen to something like this, or maybe a training that they did the week in the Champions page. And then Dallas will be on the TBB Coach 401 Facebook page live on October 1st. On October 4th, she will be on the Instagram page. On October 5th, she'll be on the National Wake Up Call. And then October 5th through the 18th, she's going to do a VIP training boot camp. So if you've done this in the past, anytime that you purchase a early access program, you'll get to be in her private VIP training group where she talks more about the program. So I'm going to share that in just a second. And then training materials, September 28th, the online product select quiz launches. I don't really use this too much, but they do have a little quiz that people can take that helps them pick their package. And then October 5th, the challenge group guide for anybody who is running a challenge group, which is what I will utilize during ours. It's a guide that will helps to give you the daily post. All right, so VIP Training Bootcamp that is hosted by Dallas, just to kind of give you a little info about that, it's October 5th through the 18th. So it's during the coach exclusive purchase window. The Facebook group is open to all coaches. The program education is going to be unit-based. So Dallas is going to be posting 3 times a week, tips, insights, etc. Training on marketing the program and nutrition program. So she will be able to help you learn how to put this out there to your social media and to your following. And then of course there's going to be sharing of testimonials from test group members. This just kind of shows you what the product training guide looks like, which is under the Grow My Business product and tools kit. Again, this is something I always pull from to do the info groups. So really quick, let's get into key dates. It's my last slide. 30-day breakaway, sample workouts already released on the 14th. The coach exclusive window is the 5th through the 18th. And then the VIP group that Dallas is doing is the 5th through the 18th. The apparel launch is on the 5th. And then the offers on sale for customers is the 19th. The VIP early access period is the 19th through the 18th. And then the virtual run that is going to be set across the board with Beachbody is going to be November 21st through the 29th. All right. I try to talk really fast for you guys. Does anybody have any questions? This is where we're all really quiet.
I like the team run, how like we would offer it kind of as a team, like on my own kind of thing. And then that way we can see people in local cities that might be interested. I like that.
Yeah, and it just hit me. I didn't get to mention, and I'm going to give Samantha Couch credit for this. I don't think she's on the call right now, but she had decided they were going to do shirts for any customer who bought a challenge or completion pack. she was going to make it as part of their offer, giving them a free shirt. Okay. So I am planning to create a shirt, not done that yet. There is a site called Bonfire that people can actually go and they can order their shirt. You can do it for profit. We actually did this with our local market council that puts on the Super Weekend. It's really easy, but they can go to the website and they can order it, and then the company ships it to them. So we create the shirt, they go on and order it. We decide if we want to do it for a profit or not. They are doing a charitable donation, like suggesting a charitable donation during your virtual run. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. And if we are, I did hear some coaches say they did that through their t-shirt sales. So that could be an ideal too. Still working out the details, but definitely going to do a team-wide shirt that's going to be posted within the group that people can buy. But what Samantha said, and what I'll probably do too, is anybody who buys a challenge or completion pack, that's part of their package. They'll get a free shirt. And then for the ones who don't, maybe for somebody who only does digital access or accessory bundle, then they'll be able to go on the site and buy their own shirt through the site called Bonfire. So that we're still working details out on. But yeah, I love the ideal of being able to collaborate with other, people who aren't local to us. And that was something we talked about in our leader thread, as we realized that we can't really do an actual meetup run together because everybody's everywhere. But how cool would it be to be like, okay, who in the state of Michigan is going to be doing a virtual run? Where is it at? What are you doing? What time? Where do we meet up at? And I thought it would be kind of neat to put together a calendar, finding out where everybody was going. And so that way everybody could know if there was a spot that they could meet somebody at. Like Deanna, I know you're in Florida. So where is it that Team On My Tone coaches or customers are meeting up? And if it's local or close to you, then you could go and meet them too. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions?